On the day of my husband's friend's wedding, when I woke up in the morning, my husband was already gone. In the afternoon, I realized a shocking truth. His suit and wedding gift money were left in his room. I searched the room and came to understand the wedding was a lie. When I called him, he said,
I'm in the middle of the ceremony. Don't call me.
to start off with such a lie, he's got some nerve. Is that so? That must be tough. You forgot your suit and the gift money, though. There was no reply from the other end of the phone, just the sound of him catching his breath. I followed up with something to really hit home. My name is Lily Anderson. I'm a 27-year-old office worker. I met my husband, Jake, at the same company. We were both top salespeople in the sales department since we joined the company at the same time. But 3 years into our marriage, our relationship has been strained. The reason is that Jake's sales performance has started to decline. Jake became noticeably irritable, and our conversations decreased dramatically. He won't even consult me, so there's no hope for improvement. It seems his motivation has dropped too, as he's been coming home earlier than me lately. Even on days off, where we used to go out together, now he doesn't leave the house at all. Today, when I got home, he was in his usual state. Beer in his left hand, snacks in his right, and his phone propped up against the snack bag, lazily watching videos. He was even sighing repeatedly. Concerned, I tried to talk to him. Are you okay? You've been sighing a lot. Then Jake coldly snapped at me.
Leave me alone. Shut up.
But if you have worries, I'm here to listen. Suddenly, he raised his voice.
What do you know, acting all high and mighty? It must be nice looking down on others. Are you enjoying it?
That's not what I meant.
Then what is it? You just want to feel superior by looking at someone who can do it, right?
Why would you say that? I'm genuinely worried and want to help.
You don't understand how I feel. You don't know how much I get compared to you by the boss every day. I'm sick of being compared to you. I'm planning to change jobs soon.
Saying that, he headed to the bathroom. Did I say something wrong? A few seconds later, as I was starting to feel down, Jake's words finally hit me. Wait, did he just say he's changing jobs? Maybe if he changes environments, our relationship might change too? Indeed, being in the same company might be why we're having issues. With that thought, I decided to support Jake's job change from the shadows. Directly supporting him might hurt his pride, so I focused on indirect support. When he was working on his resume on the computer in the living room, I quietly left the room, and when he left work early for interviews, I secretly covered for him. After about a month of this, Jake finally got a new job. Since he started working at the new company, Jake's mood improved significantly. It must have been a better fit for him at the new place. At that time, I didn't realize the real reason of his improved mood. It wasn't due to his job at all. Yet, at that time, I interpreted all his actions in a positive light and was overjoyed.
One of these days off, let's go here.
He suggested this to me one day. It was a fashionable high-end cafe popular among couples. That's unusual for you to want to go to a place like this.
Oh huh, it came up at work recently. Thought I should check it out to keep up with the conversation.
Really? I've been wanting to go too. I'm so happy. And the following weekend, as promised, we went to the cafe. The line was longer than I expected. While waiting in line, we looked at the menu excitedly. This cake looks adorable.
It's only for those who reserved. Maybe we should have reserved.
Yeah, the wait is long. Plus, the reserved seats are in a special area at the back, right?
That area, it looks luxurious. I wonder how you make a reservation.
Maybe online, but it's probably too late now. Haha. Plus, places like this are probably booked months in advance.
Oh, right. I see.
While having such casual conversations, we enjoyed an exquisite lunch. On the way back, Jake called out to a couple who appeared to be strangers coming from the opposite direction.
Ryan.
Hey, if it isn't Jake.
It seemed like they were friends of Jake from his school days. They mentioned they were returning from a wedding consultation counter, preparing for their wedding.
It's a shotgun wedding, so we're rushing the preparations.
Really? Congratulations.
Internally, I thought, a child, that would be nice. Once Jake's work settles down, maybe it's time for us to start thinking about it too. As I listened to their conversation, it was the following week.
Remember meeting my friend the other day?
Yes.
I've been invited to their wedding.
Oh, when is it?
In 3 months.
I see. You'll need to prepare a suit and a wedding gift then.
Yeah, right. Could you handle that?
Why is he dumping the preparations on me? Though I was somewhat resentful, I can't let Jake's negligence ruin the wedding. I restrained myself and made sure everything was prepared properly. Before we knew it, 3 months had passed, and it was the day of his friend's wedding. When I woke up, Jake was already gone. Normally, I might wake up to the sounds he makes, but he must have left very quietly this time. I hadn't noticed at all. When I looked at the clock, it was just before 10 a.m. If I'm on my own today, I don't have to make breakfast for two. Maybe I should take this opportunity to go out for breakfast somewhere. With that thought, I left the house. After finishing breakfast near the station, I saw that the cafe we visited before already had a long line. It's really popular. As I walked, thinking this, I suddenly saw a familiar scene. What? It was Jake's friends, the couple, coming out of the wedding consultation counter. In a wedding dress and tuxedo. No, they were dressed in plain clothes. What? Is the ceremony in the afternoon? As I was confused, they noticed me.
Aren't you Jake's?
Oh, yes. It's been a while. I couldn't just ask them, isn't there supposed to be a wedding today? What's going on? Since we had only met once before. So I tried to ask casually, are you here for wedding preparations today? He answered with a smile.
Yes, it's finally happening next week. We really wanted to invite Jake as well, but with a rush of a shotgun wedding, we decided to keep it to family only. Please say hello to Jake for me. Let's go out for a meal, the four of us, sometime.
Though my mind was blank, I remember him saying something like that. I managed to smile as much as I could and left. What does this mean? It's not a wedding. Then where did Jake go? I hurried home and opened the door to Jake's room. What I saw was astonishing. The suit and wedding gift I had prepared were still there. Hence, I confirmed Jake had lied to me. But why? Why would he need to lie about something like this? Once I started doubting, I couldn't stop. I opened Jake's computer without hesitation. The password is probably the same as his phone. Thanks to Jake's laziness, I was able to unlock it easily. First, I opened the internet search history. This cafe. It was the reservation page for the cafe we had passed earlier, the one we visited 3 months ago as a couple. The reservation date was for today. The reservation was for 2. It's an affair, it must be an affair. But where's the proof? Who is the woman he's with? I searched the computer thoroughly and found the icon for the messaging app. The exchanges on his phone should be recorded here. To hide it in such a hard-to-find place, it's too suspicious. Fueled by anger, I clicked on the icon forcefully. I understood everything after looking inside. Glancing at the clock, it was past noon. Look at me. I forgot to mention the most important forgotten item. Haha. I said that out loud, laughing to myself. If he confesses now, maybe I'll consider. What reaction will he have? I was so emotionally disturbed, almost frighteningly so, grinning as I picked up my phone. After several rings, just as I was about to give up, thinking he wouldn't answer, I heard the voice of the great liar.
Hey, I'm in the middle of the ceremony. Don't call me.
To start off with such a lie, he's got some nerve. Can he still stick to his lies now? That's what I thought before responding. Oh, is that so? That must be tough. You forgot your suit and the wedding gift, though. What exactly are you wearing to the ceremony, I wonder? Haha. There was no reply from the other end of the phone. The only sound was him catching his breath. But that wasn't all I heard. The familiar BGM of that cafe, creating a melancholy atmosphere, was audible. Well, in that case, I'll bring it over to you. Haha.
What do you mean?
Ignoring Jake's panic, I hung up and hurried to get ready. This was my second trip down this path today. That cafe, didn't I just pass by it earlier? Were they already inside at that time? I pondered this as I moved along. Ha ha ha, it's just too ridiculous. I'm starting to cry. I was supposed to be okay, I wanted to believe it was all a lie, but in moments like this, the body doesn't lie. I continued walking, wiping away my tears. Perfect timing. Just as I was about to reach the cafe, the door opened, and out came Jake and the other woman. Jake looked around suspiciously, perhaps panicked by my earlier call. Hey? I ran up to him.
Why are you here?
He was clearly flustered. Didn't I tell you? I came to deliver the suit and wedding gift. Haha. Well, the suit was heavy, so I left it behind. Looks like you didn't need it anyway. Haha. With that, I handed over the wedding gift envelope.
What's this?
Next to a visibly uncomfortable Jake, the other woman was already tearing up, trembling. I'm the one who wants to cry here, I thought as I shot them a cold glance.
What's this?
Jake looked inside the wedding gift envelope, then shouted as he threw its contents at me. Oh dear, all that effort for nothing. You shouldn't treat it so carelessly. I picked up the scattered papers one by one, reading them out loud. Let's see. The cafe you wanted to go to. I went to check it out with my wife. It seems like we should make a reservation, so I'll do that.
Stop it.
I dodged Jake's hand as he reached out to me and continued. I'm so happy. Thank you, Jake. Make sure to come up with a good excuse for your wife and find some time. No problem. If I say it's a friend's wedding, she won't suspect a thing. As I read up to there, Jake grabbed the papers and tore them to shreds. Oh dear, there goes the important evidence of your affair. Well, I have the data saved anyway. Haha.
What are you talking about? It's not an affair. I was just having lunch with a colleague from work.
That's right. It's not anything dubious.
You can say that all you want. The fact that I saw this message history means I've seen all your past exchanges too, right? All those pictures, every single one of them, are in my possession. Those were a series of inappropriate pictures. They were not something one could scatter in public, as they were clear evidences of their affair. Well, as expected of the people involved. Just from my words alone, it was probably easy for them to guess what those were. Jake turned pale, the other woman blushed deeply.
Please forgive me. Just get rid of those pictures. I'll delete them, so if you have any data, please delete it now.
No way. They'll come in handy when I file for divorce for alimony.
That, please, I beg you. Don't talk about divorce.
Jake pleaded, his head nearly touching the ground. The long line extending from the cafe was now chuckling and whispering, watching the scene. Really, if you hadn't come up with such a grand lie about a wedding, you might not have been caught. That day, you just happened to meet that couple and came up with the idea, right? Such a shallow and foolish plan. Haha. It's a disrespectful lie even to your friends who were hoping to be a happy couple. Leaving behind those words, I walked away from Jake, who was kneeling in apology, and the other woman, who was sobbing next to him. Following through with my declaration, I divorced Jake. And of course, as I had also declared, I took the evidence photos of my ex-husband and the other woman's infidelity to a law firm, effectively using them to create a demand letter. I sent the completed demand letters to both my ex-husband and the other woman, claiming alimony of $35,000 and $13,000 respectively. Noticing I had made an extra copy, I also sent it to my ex-husband's company. It led to their immediate resignation. Effectively, they were fired. Having lost his job, Jake, my ex-husband, was forced to move back in with his parents and started visiting the job center. His assets had dwindled to the point where he couldn't afford the rent for our former apartment. My former in-laws, who came to apologize to me, expressed their dismay and mentioned that they would kick him out as soon as he found a job. As for the other woman, it turned out she wasn't serious about Jake and had been seeing him with the mindset of a sugar baby. Intending to profit from their relationship, she was furious and cut off all contact when faced with a hefty alimony bill. Since the alimony wasn't being paid to me and there was no response at all, I had my lawyer send a document to her home address stating that we would initiate legal action depending on her future response. Obtaining her address was easy by tracing the message history with Jake. She quickly replied, agreeing to pay the alimony in installments. I was utterly dismayed by her irresponsible behavior, only responding to the threat of legal action. Meanwhile, I used the alimony received from Jake and the other woman to move to a condominium closer to my work. It reduced my commute time and freed myself from the worries and entanglements of my marriage, allowing me to focus more on my job. Thanks to this, my sales performance skyrocketed, and I am set for a promotion soon. Truly, this is what you call smooth sailing.